Radio.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Speak Life Radio right here on Gorilla Cross Radio, GorillaCross.com, the Gorilla Cross app, SpeakLifeRadio.com, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter, Twitch. We're everywhere. I'm your host, Quan59. We have another dope show for you once again tonight. Broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas. Got my man Joe Seif back in the building with me. What's good?
What's going on, y'all? Everything's good, my man. It's been a weird week, but everything's good.
Weird week? Tell me a little bit about it.
Man, too much info. I think I got an infection on my big toe, or as they say,
big toe infection.
As they say in the orthopedic realm, they call it the grand toe.
Oh, wow.
I just found that out.
I didn't know that.
It was really bad, and so I had to actually go in and I actually watched the doctor as he was taking this big blade and cutting off half of my toenail, like taking it off. And he was looking at me. He was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm good." He's like, "Cause normally most of the time people are like freaking out right about now." I was like, "Nah, man. I'm used to needles. I'm used to this." And he was just like, he's just moving the needle was like this long. I'm like, okay.
I'm
and
good on that.
He's just moving it around like that. And I'm just like, okay.
I'm good on needals like that.
Yeah,
I'm good.
so,
I'm good.
Weird week, man. Like, I've been off my feet almost the whole week.
Off your foot. Off his grand foot.
A grand toe.
Just the grand toe. Listen, man, if you guys are watching live, please share the live video stream with your people. Share right now. Let us know where you're tuned in from, what city, country, or state. Shout your city, man. We'll let you guys give you guys a shout out. We are here live every Tuesday, 8 p.m.-ish, West Coast time. And sometimes on Friday, we might be here this Friday. I'll let you know. 2 p.m. West Coast time, right here on Gorilla Cross Radio. So make sure you guys stay tuned in and locked in. We're trying to do more Friday afternoons because I know a lot of people on the East Coast are, they're complaining because it's 11 o'clock when we start at night, their time. So very understandable. And we do have some interviews trying to come in the studio that will make better sense doing it in the afternoon. So we will let you know for sure. But this week, I had an interview for Speak Life Radio this week, but then the big three's out here, so we might be having a former NBA player in the studio on Unnamed Sports Show. So I might have to put you guys aside for, an NBA player.
That makes sense.
Trying to get him in the studio, you know what I'm saying? But there are a lot of big threes out here. Shout out to the journalist, Saskatchewan, Canada, in the building. Appreciate it, guys. We are here, and we have a different show for you tonight. We're going to do some music reviews. We're not going to do a whole lot. We don't want to take up everyone's time. And there's only two of us. And I like doing reviews when it's two of us, but that's a lot of reviewing.
Oh, yeah.
For just two people. So we're going to do a handful of reviews. But we also got, we've done this a couple times, is our indie artist interview segment where we reach out to you this afternoon. I said, who wants to be interviewed, basically, because I have people hitting me up all the time. How can I get on? How can I get an interview? How can I get my music played? So tonight is the opportunity. So we've reached out. I said the first three people to hit me up will get an interview tonight. I said with good Wi-Fi and good, internet connection and lighting. So we'll see how that works. We had, stuff going on at the beginning, but it should work, and we should be good. So we're going to get into that in just a minute here because we want to shed light on independent artists. A lot of people, and I see it all the time on social media, are complaining that they're not getting, the same light that other artists might get, right? The same exposure that other artists might get. So we're going to give some of these people an opportunity to explain why they should be interviewed and who they are. So we want to put a spotlight on some of the independent artists out there because that's the thing, man. There's so many artists that it's hard for us to find everybody, you know what I'm saying? And for other websites like Rapzilla or any other platforms to be able to find every artist all the time, you know what I'm saying? So that's why, once in a while, we'll go ahead and do the indie artist spotlight to give you guys the opportunity to get on and talk to people that maybe wouldn't normally get an interview. So you haven't done that with us before, have you?
Nah.
All right, first time. So we do this kind of quick. I know a lot of times we have artists on and we get really deep into their lives, but each artist we have on right now, is going to have 10 minutes. That's it, to do the interview. So we're going to get to know who they are, how they started with music and being in Christian music and stuff like that. And we'll ask them some other random questions and maybe some fun stuff as well. So all the questions might be different. So I don't want the artists listening thinking we're going to ask you the same exact questions. If we have time, we might give the Skype link out. And if you guys want to jump in, we might let other people jump in too. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, follow us on all social media at Gorilla Cross. Follow me at Quan59 and follow Joe Seif at Joe Seif on all social media. We are glad and we appreciate you guys tuning in every week with us. You have better things you could be doing on a Tuesday late night, but you choose to spend your time with us right here in Las Vegas. So we appreciate it, man. All right. I'm going to get into our first interview because this dude has been waiting patiently. He's changed his camera pose 65 times. Go ahead and unmute your mic. This is an artist. I haven't heard of him before. I'm not sure if he's ever submitted to our review show. We'll ask him that and we'll let you guys know. But we got Speaks live on the line. He SPKZ. Is that right?
I think that's dope.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. We can hear you now. How's it going, man?
Yeah, you said it right. You said it right. Speaks. Jesus speaks. In order to speak, you got to be alive.
See, that's what I like. Like, he already had, like, the slogan for his name ready to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of times you ask people what their name means. Oh, man, well, my boy in the hood back in 1983 gave me this name. And, you know, K-Dog, I was a killer. And then I had to change it to make it Christian. So you have to come up with a different meaning. So I like how you were able to jump right into that and you knew what your name meant. How long have you been rapping?
Since 2016, seriously, for Christ, since about 2014.
All right.
All right.
How'd you get your start, my man? Like, was it in like, you know, the typical youth group stuff like that, or? You know,
honestly, I did secular music prior to being a Christian hip hop artist, but I sold a secular album to a guy on the street who introduced me to the Cray and 116 at the time, and that's what really inspired me to do music. And then I just made a song glorifying God. I was raised in church, so I already had a background in church, but I decided, like, you know what, I'm gonna do this all for God. And so that I made one song and everybody loved it. Just decided to keep going from there.
All right, so you had a background in church, but you were doing secular music at the time. And then someone introduced you. Were you doing secular music because you didn't realize Christian hip-hop existed, or the Christian hip-hop you heard just wasn't anything that was appealing to you until you heard Lecrae?
So salute to Gospel Gangsters. They're cool and everything, and Woody Rock and all them, but it just wasn't anything that I would be able to listen to in the hood with the homies. And so I just really wasn't feeling it like that. But when I heard Lecrae, I was like, yo, I can rock with this.
Man, that's a big step to get put onto. Like, for like someone to hear your project and to be like, hey, I want you to talk to my guy Lecrae.
What was it? I mean, wait. I'm thinking they introduced his music to Lecrae.
Okay.
Lecrae's music, not him personally.
I was gonna say, damn, that's a good jump off
the music to me.
Yeah. That's how I took it.
Oh, because I was like, dang, dude, like that's a serious door open right there, man. Shoot. That's all right. I see you.
No, they introduced you to Lecrae's music, and that grabbed you, that pulled you in.
That pulled me in. But you know, the minister Gabriel DeLong out from Walla Walla, he actually sent me a whole bunch of messages of repentance and stuff like that, and he was just pulling me in. We smoked together. We were smoking weed, but he was giving me Jesus at the same time. And then I think God just hit me up in my dreams and was like, yo, you ready? Because I am coming back.
Wow.
Dang, dude, that's
wow.
dope.
So, I mean, pretty much out of revelation, and that's what got you into not just doing Christian music, but actually serving the Lord 100%.
Yeah.
All right, how old are you, if you don't mind just asking?
I am 31.
31, all right. And where do you reside from?
From Walla Walla, Washington, born and raised, but I'm currently in Spokane, Washington.
The
Nice.
Walls. All right, cool. I knew a couple people from the Walls, man. Yeah, I'm from Pacific North as well. Yeah, it's dope. So I think it's dope, especially now. It seems like everybody in the culture is in a spot where everybody's more open about saying, look, I'm not put together and God's just taking me from where I'm at, you know, kind of like how you were saying, because you said the brother was like smoking with you, but he was still giving you God. And I think sometimes, man, like just not the culture of hip hop, Christian hip hop, but I think the culture of Christianity needs to hear that, you know, you don't have to be perfect in order to be used by God. So I mean, my man, I think that that's going to be a good part of your testimony. And I would love to hear a song about that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's definitely something that it's probably going to touch a lot of people like you. You know what I'm saying? So that right there, that one story, that that one little intro to yourself that's a song in itself, man. So like, I hope you've written or you think about writing something like that, because that's the.
Honestly, I haven't, but I probably should.
Yeah, dude.
I've been asking the Lord for some new songs, so he might have just gave me the one.
There it is. See. Look.
So who are your favorite artists right now? Who are other, you know, besides Lecrae, that you could listen to?
I definitely. So I will always give Lecrae the GOAT title for rap, because he just so transcendent. But I would say that for spiritual impact, spiritual growth, every time that I listen to Brian Trejo from Kingdom Music, I always feel pulled to get closer to God, to go harder for God, to check my flesh. And so I really respect my brother Brian. And then I would say that Marcus Rogers, I really love him because he brings this worship out of me that, like, if I could, I would sing at the top of my lungs. You're not going to get that here.
Yeah.
But if I had some auto-tune, you sure would.
Hey.
Man, look.
That's funny, man. Yeah, Marcus Rogers. I'm not a big follower of his music. You know, I've seen some of the stuff he's done, but Brian is definitely dope, man. And what they're doing, the Kingdom Music over there is really dope and inspiring. So, you know, it's good people to look up to, man. You're definitely looking up to the right people. What's your goal in making music right now?
So my number one goal is to win souls, is to plant a seed that makes people think differently, not just about music, but about what they believe as far as eternal life, purpose in life. My goal is to inspire, encourage, build people up, but also be authentic and real about what's going on in my life. I'm not a perfect Christian. I do strive every day. To say that I read the Bible every single day, I'd be lying to you. I try. There's days that I miss it, but there's days that I'm in prayer and I'm not in the Word. But so I try to keep everything just real, raw. What you see is what you get, because we're humans, and this isn't a facade to me. I'm really trying to see your soul into heaven. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
Honestly, I say thank you, Lord, for another day that wasn't promised to me. And then I try to get my YouVersion and get the word of the day. But if
all right, I want to encourage you though, because you say you try. So maybe wake up 5 minutes earlier, right? I'm not sure what time you set your alarm or anything. I know a lot of us, the first thing we do, grab our phone, check our notifications, right?
Word.
See what's going on social media. But what I've been trying to do myself, and I'm trying to encourage others to do it, and I don't do it every single day either, is get in the Word. You know, you got your Bible app next to your Instagram and your Facebook, so it's just as easy to push the Bible app as it is Instagram, correct? So,
well, that's one thing that I do try, and I've been. I just came out of I call it the Job season.
All right.
I got forced out of my house. I got so I've been married for 10 years. Divorce was on the table. So crazy allegations came up against me. God told me to put the music down and just focus on Him. So for 7 months of uncertainty and not knowing what's going to happen, if He didn't come and rescue me, then I wouldn't be on this live feed right now. I wouldn't be able to do Christian hip hop anymore. I wouldn't be able to do a lot of stuff that I'm doing. But by the grace and mercy of God, I'm able to. But through that Job season, when you're at your low, you press in hard to God. And so in that season, no social media was a factor in my life. All that got shut down and deactivated so that I could just hone in on the Lord. My phone wasn't even blowing up anymore. So I had tunnel vision with God. And in that season, I've been kind of like pulling from all the things that I was doing then. So one of those things is thank God for another day that wasn't promised to me, YouVersion. And then the story on YouVersion, I'll click the YouVersion story, and then it's like a little mini Devo. And so instantly, God has used that to speak into my life about things right now.
That's good.
So crazy. So, I mean, it is amazing. You know what I'm saying?
That's good, man.
That's all I can say. It's beautiful.
Keep pressing in on that because it does get difficult sometimes. You wake up, we have bad attitudes sometimes waking up. Sometimes you have to push through. But I encourage you to keep doing that and keep pushing through, man, because God is definitely trying to speak to you in the morning. And it's always good to start your day off with something positive like that and with getting filled up. And I mean, it talks about the full armor of God, putting that on daily. And you don't put on the armor on at the end of the night. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to armor up before you go out in the battlefield, wherever battlefield that may be.
Quick question for you, my man. So like, have you submitted music to the show before?
So I'm a member of Sacred Music Tribe. I don't know if Brother Taylor has submitted anything to y'all. I personally haven't, but it's a lot of stuff that I could submit. We just dropped Elohim, a music video on YouTube. That wasn't through Sacred Music Tribe, but I definitely would love it to spin on the radio.
So how many projects have you dropped personally?
Okay, so personally, I only have one official album in Christian hip hop.
Okay.
That's New Beginnings.
All right, when did that come out?
That came out New Year's Eve of 2019. So
okay.
The 31st of December 2019.
All right, so what's next for you? You said you put down music for a while. Do you have anything you're working on right now? Anything new we can look out for?
Man, we got a lot working, man. So coming out of that season, go check out Elohim. Just put SPKZ Elohim into YouTube. That song really right there, that whole verse is when I was facing all that uncertainty, I would ask God, like, man, what's going to happen? Like, what's happening with my life? Like, am I going to lose my marriage? Am I going to, like, I can't even be a father. What's going to happen? And every time I would hear, I got you. Huh. And so in that song, I say, got my back, really, like, it's almost like a war cry / declaration. So I encourage people to hear that because I believe that God moved mightily in my life as encouraging me. And when people hear it, they genuinely, they feel it. It's just exalting Jesus Christ. Yep. And then we did another one, Sacred Music Tribe did This Gon' Go featuring Mike Servin. Okay. That's also on YouTube. It's actually selected on Rapzilla right now, the Hot or Not playlist. And It's doing fairly well. I feel like it's rigged, though, to be honest.
Maybe.
Hey, look.
Maybe. All right, man. Well, listen, we appreciate it. Let everybody know where they can find you before we let you go, man, and follow you and find your music.
Yeah, so I got Unity coming out with Joshua Romaine. Follow me on Instagram at my name is SPKZ. You can go to my website and check me out, spkz.org. And we do everything, man. I record, mix, master, film, photograph, and I own a clothing line. Stay Prayed Up is part of it. And man, I want to connect with as many people as I can and just do life with you because it's not a game out here, man. Satan is really real, and we got to really be on the field. And so hit me up on Instagram at my name is Speaks all across the board, or check my website, spkz.org. I appreciate the time.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you getting on with us, and keep tuning into the show, man. Keep tuning in, and we do music reviews. So submit, one of your songs one of these days soon. All right.
Absolutely. God bless y'all.
Peace.
Oh. All right, man. That is Speaks. Make sure you guys go follow him, and I'm sure he'll follow you back. You know what I'm saying? So follow for a follow. That's what we're doing today on Speak Life Radio. But we do have two more artists coming up. But yeah, if you guys want to be part of this in the future, just make sure you follow the Speak Life Radio group, because I post things randomly in there that I want to do. I might wake up in the morning and say, this is what I want to do today. Or I might have that idea, a week ahead of time. And I just don't put it out there until it's ready because, I want to see who's actually following the group. You know what I'm saying? But this next dude we got on, I'm going to get my man Brother War on next. And it's funny because people just hit me up randomly today, and I had people hit me up all day because I said the first 3 to hit me up, right? And 3 people hit me up, and all day I had to disable the comments.
Dang.
Because
all right.
I kept having people hit my inbox up and everything. But this dude hit me up, and then he let me know he was part of a group, and I'll let him tell you guys, but it's a group I listened to back in the day, so I thought that was pretty dope. But I got my man Brother War live with us right now, man. How are you doing? What's good? And where you from, man?
Salute. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. How you feeling, bro?
Oh man, I'm blessed by the best, man. Yeah, I'm originally from the Northwest.
All right.
Originally.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from 503, man. I'm from Portland, Oregon.
Scoot over to your right just a little bit. There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, yeah. Yeah, so I'm originally from the wet West Coast. My dad's from California. A lot of my homies in Cali. So
okay.
I originally spent a lot of time on the West Coast. My sound is still very West Coast, but I have been living in ATL for 13 years. So I'm a transplant. So, I'm bi-coastal, I guess you could say. But
okay.
I've been going back to my roots on my sound. I've been really embracing the West Coast sound, and it's been working for me. Yeah.
Now, how is that? First of all, what made you go to Atlanta 13 years ago, from the Northwest? And then what's that like having a West Coast sound in Atlanta, because their sound is totally different? What's that like?
Absolutely. Well, it's a lot to unpack in that, but basically I lived in Portland. I was just getting tired of it in Portland. It's rain all the time. Much love to my homies in Portland, much love and respect, but I just had to get away. And
yeah.
I had wanted to go just further south to California because I got a lot of homies in the Bay.
Yeah.
My dad's from Southern California. So California was always, West Coast. That's my home away from home. I was always going down there,
yeah.
Especially the Bay, NorCal, like Vallejo, Sassoon, Vacaville, Richmond,
yeah.
Sacramento, all through there. That was like my home away from home. And I wanted to go down there, but I was just praying, and I knew it was time for a change. But Atlanta had got on my map a long time ago from Brothers Grimm days, and people were playing us on the radio down there, and people were like, bro, you would love Atlanta.
Yeah.
And because Atlanta is a hub for for culture and the arts, so that's what attracted me. And, the old school Atlanta sound was more like Outkast, Goody Mob,
yeah.
all of that, and I loved that. I loved that sound. So yeah, that was what attracted me. And then the door opened for me to come down there and just moved. I just moved on faith. I was married and I had a small child. My son was a little guy, and we just went across the country, man. And
that's dope.
We've been here ever since, man. I'm glad that I moved, though. I feel like God really brought me down here, man. So I think, one thing about me is you could tell by the way I carry myself. I'm a very unusual person, and that's what made Brothers Grimm stand out.
Well, let's talk about that real quick, because we didn't even mention that. You kind of mentioned it just now, but you're from a old school
right.
Christian hip hop group called Brothers Grimm. You guys were signed to Great Tree
Absolutely.
Records, and
Yes,
you did
sir.
a lot of stuff. And I mean, back then there was a handful of artists and groups that I was actually able to listen to in front of other people that weren't Christians. They were just my hip hop friends, right? Brothers Grimm was definitely one of them that I would listen to you guys, and it was just on a different level of, it was just hard, real, but it was spirituality too, like you guys sounded like you were doing spiritual warfare in your music, but it was still reality at the same time. You weren't just out there fighting demons and doing like, over the top stuff. But you guys were just, it was reality. So talk about those days real quick, and what that was like being signed to a label back then, because that was kind of new for Christian hip hop back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, absolutely, man. I definitely want to talk about what I'm doing now too, but we'll go there. Um, what had happened was, it's a long story, but you're talking about the spiritual warfare, so that's why. So I gotta unpack this real quick. I was raised very as a believer and everything, but I had a lot of issues, depression. The guys in my group, Brothers Grimm, we had all had like emotional, mental, just struggle issues. And you could hear that. You could hear the struggle in the music. And the other brother, Crow.
Yeah.
He was the last person in the world that you would believe, if you knew him before, that would ever rap about God.
Yeah.
Back then, gospel rap was known as being cornball.
Yep.
Right. But I was on such an interesting spiritual journey. Like, I mean, I literally have dealt with a lot of supernatural things. And I know that freaks people out, but that's what I've dealt with.
Yeah.
I've dealt with crazy stuff. And me and him saw some supernatural things together. It was a real battle. And me and him, because we started out as a secular revolutionary but gangster rap group.
Okay.
So we were talking about, what's going on in the world, and he was we were very pro power to the people kind of rappers. But I realized that God always spoke to me, because I was still a believer. I guess I was what the church would call as a backslider.
Yeah.
And I wasn't gang affiliated, but almost all my friends were. So I was like one of those guys who was trying to be a righteous guy, but I was in the soup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people thought I was a gangbanger, even though I didn't claim nothing or anything, just because the environment that I was in, and they were both affiliated with, different gang stuff. And so it's a long story, but basically the fact that this brother, one of the members, Crow, basically it came to a turning point, because we were around a lot of gangs, but Brothers Grimm was our gang.
Yeah.
We were not gospel, so Brothers Grimm was our gang, and we didn't sound like any other West Coast rappers. We had a really dark, different vibe. But what happened was, I felt the Holy Spirit just saying, man, you got to give your life completely to me. Because I was very I wasn't real churchy, but I just knew the spirit world was real. And so, and I'm still not like that. I'm not a conformist. I'm a visual artist. I'm just kind of out there. But if God can use anybody. He doesn't want a cookie cutter believer. He just wants us to walk uniquely and authentically in him. So each person's path is different, but righteousness is righteousness. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to look one way, and a relationship is a relationship. And so anyway, what happened was, trying not to make it take too long, but we started having conflicts, me and him, about God and about Jesus. And I was praying, and I was like, look, and I felt like God was like, you need to take a stand for me. You need to stand up for me. So I stopped cussing in my raps. I didn't even leave the group. I just started talking more about God. I stopped cussing. I was still in the group, because to me, Jesus is a revolutionary anyway. Yeah. So I was speaking from a spiritual but revolutionary aspect, but I stopped cussing. I started going more and more righteous in my message. And it was just crazy. It was really a God thing. They came around. First, Crow came around, and then Solemn is the name of the other artist. He came along with that. So it's so many crazy stories along that journey. So I'm trying not to get off track with that.
Yeah, that could be a whole show.
But
that could be a whole show.
I got a question.
Absolutely, it could be an hour.
I got a question. So with all of that background of what happened, on all of your news, all the new stuff that you're working on, how much of the influence and how much of that is coming out in the new work that you're putting out?
Well, okay, so I can't help it, bro. I just live in the deep. So I have dreams and visions and crazy stuff, and I seek God's will. So me being an OG veteran, having done it for so long, and just been indie and underground for years, I had a lot of warfare about giving up, but I felt like it was what I was called to do.
Word.
And because music is so powerful, man. I want to have the biggest impact using the gifts and talents. Everybody's gifted differently.
Yeah.
But I do have a gift with words. I do have a gift with rapping. I'm my own worst critic. I was always different. I was signing autographs. Thinking that, like, why do people want my autograph?
Mhm.
But I struggle with that low self-esteem. But the passion of what God put in me, I have to be obedient. He kept telling me, be obedient, be obedient. And he gave me a dream, and it ties in with Brothers Grimm, is that at the end of the dream, he said 1997. And I was like, what's that? And then when I woke up, I realized there's a lot more to the dream. But at the end of the dream, he said 1997. And I realized that is when my mission started.
Mhm.
So my mission has not changed.
Yeah.
It's the same mission that I had back then, but it's a different landscape. You know what I'm saying? So me as an OG, I have a lot of that old school style in my music, but I also have a lot of the new style. So I put the two together, and I try to do the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? I rap to more like Blueface or Tiger type beats a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of Blueface's style, no disrespect, but I love his beats. So I'll take these new beats and I'll put real powerful lyrics. The one thing that I have evolved in is that a lot of my old music was a lot more about depression and angst and struggle. Now a lot of my new music is a lot more from a place of victory. I still deal with heavy subjects a lot, but I speak a lot from a place of victory.
That's
place
good.
of power.
And that just comes from growth.
Yeah.
Is you as a man, you as a Christian, and all that. Was there a time period in between what you're doing with Brothers Grimm and where you are right now that you took time off of music?
No. Okay, you know how it is being having a family.
Yeah.
And the only other work I do, man, I'm telling you, like, I am an extremely I guess you would say right-brained individual. I'm not cut out to be like a factory worker or a post office guy, but even with Grapetree, we never got no money from it, man. You know what I'm saying? We would do shows here and there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we never made a lot of money from, even we were known, you know what I'm saying? I was a known artist, and people would make fun of me for being broke and still listen to my music. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy, but so I had never made a lot of money, but so I had to hold down a job. You know what I'm saying? So there would be seasons where I would take breaks, but I could never put it fully down, because as an artist, you just have to create.
Yeah,
There's no, if you're a real artist, whether it's a real MC, I paint canvases too. I do poetry, all that stuff. But if you're a real MC or a real painter or a rapper, it's like a singer. It's more than just the industry, man. It's like you have to do it. It's something burning inside of you to create. And
even if it's stuff you're not putting out all the time, it's still stuff you're creating.
Right. No, yeah, I had always trickled stuff out, but it might be like a year or two during that journey where I wouldn't put anything out.
Yeah. But
in the last, what was so dope though is during the quarantine, man. Like before the quarantine, I had prayed, and I was getting frustrated because I'm very transparent. I was getting frustrated because I work in youth development, and I work with kids all these years too. So I've always been like, what can I do to make the biggest impact? So the main two things I know to make the biggest impact is work with youth and create music. Like those are the two things that I've been able to do, whether I could make a lot of money at it, but those are the two things that I've seen fruit from.
Yeah.
I've seen people stop me and be like, bro, your music, like, it touched my heart. It made me, I've had people stop me down here, like at the Walmart high, like, bro, like almost starting to tear up, like, bro, your music, like, bro, like that touched my heart. Like a grown man talking to me like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
awesome,
man, music
that
is so powerful. And so that's better than any award or recognition from the music industry. But I have got to a point after all these years that I'm ready to be more commercially successful, just because of the fruit. Like, I know the more commercially successful I am, the more people I can reach, especially with the younger people. You know what I'm saying? Because they're impressed by vanity metrics. You know what I'm saying? They're impressed by by the glitz and the glamour. I never have been, but I'm really purpose driven. So if that's what it takes to touch and reach more lives, then let's go. You know what I'm saying?
What do you actively
like,
what are you doing right now to get there and get your music out there more?
Well, see, yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. What I've been doing is I've just been embracing social media, and I've been I think outside of the box. And so not having a label and not having a whole bunch of finances to plug into it, I've been embracing social media, and I've started, and because basically I think as an artist, you want to stick, if you don't know what to do, stick with your strongest point.
Yeah.
My strongest thing is creating. So I just started putting out a lot of music, and I put some music out officially on Spotify, but like, the artist, you heard of the artist Russ, right? Of course. I don't listen to his music a lot, but I like some of the things he has to say. He said, unless you're really well known, there's no point in waiting and dropping an album. Like, just put out singles.
Yeah.
Just keep putting out singles until something catch. So that's what I've been doing. I've been putting out mixtape singles, and then I'll put out a couple official singles. You know what I'm saying? I put stuff with a free type beat online. And then if I really, really like a song, I'll lease it, and then I'll put it out. I started with an EP. Then, I'm just trickling out singles. I'm embracing the guerrilla marketing, and I started getting some radio play even on some, because I know a lot of people down here. Like, Atlanta is like, everybody knows somebody famous. Like,
yeah,
y'all,
definitely.
And I'm not really big into name dropping, but, I've met some of I met Brian and opened up for him, and he's a really great guy, Brian Trejo. And, I've talked to Bizzle, and I talked to Seven a long time ago. And I met with Bizzle, briefly. He's a real cool guy and stuff. So, I'm in people's, they know who I am. You know what I'm saying? People know who I am. But there was a time when I was like, man, I know all these people, and I'm cool with them, or they even like some of my music. And I'm like, God, what's up with that? And I really felt like the spirit was like, you always looking for the plug. I want you to be the plug. So I'm not 100% sure what that means, but I think the way that I interpret that, stop expecting anything from anybody, because God is going to put you where you need to be. We as artists just need to continually create value. Yeah. We need to be the value creators, and we never we should never count on people supporting us. We need to continually earn people's support. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I've earned it, but now I just need to get out in front of more people. So, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely got to up my marketing game a little bit, but I'm navigating that. I'm learning how to do that a little better. I'm working on that.
Because at Speak Life, we have a lot of talented people always submitting, and they're always in the comments. And just about last week, there was somebody saying, I want to connect with people. Just drop your name. Let's get together. Let's talk. So where can anybody in the Speak Life, like the chats and whatnot, where can they find you? Like, give us your all of your Instagram handles and whatnot, so you all can link up.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a real down-to-earth person, man. I'm fortunate that a lot of people hit me up, but like Quan was saying, I'll follow everybody back. You know what I'm saying? As long as you don't have a thirst trap, I'll follow you back. You know what I'm saying?
Too many thirst traps out there.
It's a no can do.
Exactly.
It's a no can do. But no, and I know some cool people, young ladies that are real cool people, but they got thirst traps. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't follow you. Like, that's not going to fly. But other than that, I'll follow you back. You know what I'm saying? I'm very down to earth. Yes, but you can find me anywhere with Brother War, BRUTHAWAR. You type that into YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You're gonna find me. You just gotta spell it ebonically or whatever. BRUTHA.
I love it.
WAR. BRUTHA. If you put brother with an O or put an ER at it, you're not gonna find me. But if you type it like that, if you type it with a U and an A, you're gonna find me right away. And I really do want people to subscribe to my YouTube. I put the bulk of my content on YouTube, and then I just kind of pay it out on TikTok and Instagram.
All right, make sure you shoot me a song you want us to play later on tonight. from your YouTube. Just send me a link, and we'll do that as well.
Okay.
But dude, we definitely got to talk more, man.
Yeah,
this was definitely not long enough. So we'll have to get you on again and chop it up a lot more. So let's stay connected, bro. I definitely appreciate you getting on and hearing what you're doing, and we look forward to what you're doing in the future, man. So anything you need, man, definitely hit us up.
Man, I really appreciate that, brother. And I got to get up real early, so I'm probably gonna hop off.
No, you're good.
I got to get up like in a couple hours, man. So, yeah, man.
Well, I appreciate you staying on so late,
much,
Atlanta time. You know what I'm saying? It's almost midnight out there, so I definitely appreciate that. But yeah, we'll connect again soon.
Yeah, no doubt. Usually I'm a night owl, but my job right now, I got to get up at 6 a.m. So that's too much.
I feel you, man. You're good.
All right, peace, my
man. My brother. I appreciate it, man. How you want me to send it to you?
You can just DM
Facebook?
it. Yeah, you can just DM it on Facebook.
All right, no doubt, man. Hey, y'all be blessed, though.
Yeah. Make sure you follow him, Brother War, right here. Dope, man. Appreciate it. We do got one more that we're going to be getting on the line in a second. So, I don't know why that keeps going off, man. I need to. It's one of those days. $4,000 for my car.
Oh man! Dude.
After I already paid 18,
dude, that is that is a journey. We can go an hour in the radio show talking about.
Talk a lot about that. So. But we are going to get the next guest on, and make sure you follow Speaks, and make sure you follow Brother War. Their names. I'll put that up there. If you missed their names, you could find their names right now, and you see the next artist we have coming on already. But make sure you follow them on social media. Check out their music. I haven't heard much of Brother War's new stuff. I heard a little bit, a few snippets of it earlier today, so it's pretty dope. But I don't know anything about Speaks. But like I was saying earlier, Brothers Grimm, they were one of those few handful of groups that I would listen to all the time and replay some of their music over and over again. So shout out to them for when he told me that, man, I thought it was pretty dope. All right. Next up, I got my man, Prophet Josiah. He's actually submitted a lot of music to us before on the music reviews. And I think it was last season, the very end, I think it was the last show of last season. You sent a song and then you had like a big old skit at the end, and I bashed it.
Yes.
And I loved the song, and then you had this big skit, and I'm still mad about that. Why did you do that?
I put this skit on because I thought it was dope. So then y'all said, yo, you should make the skit fade out. So then I re-put it out without the skit.
Oh, look at that.
Right.
Listen, man, taking advice
I'll be listening to y'all,
from
man.
some knuckleheads in Vegas. I feel that. But
I put it out as a maxi single without the skit.
Okay, that's dope, man. Because we just want to hear the music. Skits just don't do a lot. And I think the skit, I can't remember exactly, but I think it just kept going and going, and it didn't like really fit the makeup of the song that much to me. But you liked it, but then you changed it.
Was really just me telling the story of what happened that I was rapping about.
Okay.
All right. So my question is, okay, so I saw the background. So off air, you were like, you guys aren't going to like the way the background looks. What do I see in the background? Because it looks like I see some Laker colors like I have in the background over here, but I can't be too sure.
So the background is actually my album cover that's on my computer screen.
Oh, all right. I got
move
you.
out the way. See.
I like it, dude. I think that's smart, man. I like that you're able to put your own backgrounds in the back, and that's you're just like representing. That's dope. So is it a new project that's out? Is it an old project that's out? Is it something that's going on? Like, talk to us about what you've been going on with what you've been working on, my man.
Absolutely. That is my most recent project. It's called God Made Me Do It. Came out in November. And a lot of dope music on there. So I'm from the 90s, so my music sounds kind of 90s.
That's all hip hop should sound, man.
So
look, if you've been listening to the radio show for a long time, you know me. I am a mid-school head, 100%. I love 90s music. Yeah.
So what's next? I mean, you had that project come out in November. Are you just pushing that, or are you pushing singles from that, or do you have something else you're working on now?
I'm pushing that. I'm pushing singles from that, and I got some new music coming too. I'm probably gonna put out like another EP, so it might be like 4 or 5 songs. I'm still working on them though.
All right. Now I notice you have the microphone. You have the good mic in front of you right now. Is that what you record on?
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. So you do all your music at the house or what?
Yeah.
You do all your own
definitely.
recording, all your own mixing and mastering too, or you send that out?
Yeah, I do.
You make your own beats?
I do, but they're not all good, so I buy some.
Right. No, that's good, man. I am a fan of the bedroom studio, garage studio, the home studios. I mean, that's how we came up. Like we came up like that.
Too.
You know what I'm saying? So I think
I mean, our studio right here is a product of the bedroom.
That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's
that could have sounded bad, but it's a product of having the studio in the bedroom.
Look,
first, yeah.
I see already in the comments people are talking about how the sound of your project, how it's got some like lo-fi qualities, vintage sound and stuff like that. I definitely think that that type of music is definitely paying dues and paying homage to like the true school of hip hop. Like, what are your influences? Both, I mean, not necessarily secular, but like in the Christian realm, like what are some of your influences?
And secular. If you don't have any Christian influences,
yeah.
musically,
I
you don't have
a lot of Christian influences, but I grew up listening to the Roots, Tribe, Nas, Rakim, EPMD. You know what I'm saying? Them cats.
Man, all right.
And we're gonna play everybody's, everybody that we had on. We're gonna play their music after this interview. So we're gonna go into his song first and kind of play him backwards from how we had him on the show. But you have submitted a lot. So other than taking out that skit, sometimes we have artists let us know what they've taken from us. But I don't know, some artists might not take anything from what we say. But what have you taken from just the last few years of submitting to our show? And what have you gotten from us critiquing your music and maybe even critiquing other people's tracks?
Yeah, I mean, I like the honesty that you bring, and I recognize that like everybody might not like my music, so like some stuff I listened to, some stuff I didn't. But I mean, there's at least 3 songs I know for a fact that you said something and I changed it up, and I actually did what you suggested because I thought it was a good idea. And when I thought of it, I'm like, yeah, you know what, that kind of makes sense, so I'm gonna just do it.
Now, do you have anyone when you're making music? Because I know when Joe Seif comes in, he records here, and we've always had at least 5 people that we can bounce music off each other, ideas, beats, hooks. Out here, we have people we could bounce, all that off of each other. Do you have people you could do that with? Or do you just make it, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't?
I have a few people I could do it with, but
do you
they're
trust
all
them?
like really familiar with me.
Yeah.
So I don't get the same kind of feeling like you guys bring. Like y'all just be like, yo, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? But then you give the reason why you don't like it.
Right.
Then I could decide, okay, well, I'm saying maybe I'll change that, maybe I won't. But I like the honesty of it. I don't really have people like that because the people that know me like my music. So it don't really matter what I do. I mean, they're going to say they like it.
Right.
Like, do you guys have something where you like review it before the music comes out?
So we actually have something with Alicia Way that we're planning on doing called, what was it called? Undone.
Undone.
So Speak Life Radio Undone.
Yep.
We're going to have people submit. And this is going to be something we actually charge like $20 a track or whatever. And before it's mixed, before it's put out, we'll do that, review the song. And it might even be a private thing. I'm not sure if we'll even do that live on the air. I don't know how we'll do that, but we have the idea to do that. Yeah.
Because technically what it is, it's like consulting. And so like for people like yourself, we're like, man, my whole team is not in a bad way, but they're yes men.
Yeah.
They hear my music, they're like, yeah, dude, that's dope. And you want to hear somebody, because like, again, you guys have heard me say, my thing is, all right, after I've done a show, done a teaching, I've taught a class, whatever it is, tell me what you didn't like about it. That's my question. It's never, hey, what'd you think? It's tell me what you didn't like about it.
Well, and sometimes it hurts my feelings too, because people will submit music and will critique it. And there's like little things that can make that song actually
fire
hit, but it's already done. It's already out. It's already in the public. So I wish we could have got a hold of some of those artists and songs beforehand to be able to help them out with just those little things that their engineer or producer or whoever was around them in the studio wasn't giving them, that advice or that critique on it. Because a lot of times these artists that, even you that are submitting, it's just a few little steps with every song or video away from being from good to great.
Right. Yeah.
And so we are going to do that.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys should definitely do that and do like whole projects. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. Because I would like to get like a real, you know what I'm saying? You know what? Change this, change that, or maybe you should do this or do that. And it's dope because it's not out yet, so I can still change it without, you know what I'm saying, pulling it down and trying to repost it up, or you know what I'm saying?
Word. Yeah, no, man, that's dope. I think it's really cool that you've actually have taken some of the constructive criticism and said, hey, you know, I mean, I'll separate wheat from chaff. Like I'm a creative. This I like. They didn't like it. Oh well, I like it. I'm running with it. But hey, you know, that stuff they said, okay, I'm gonna try it. Hey, I like it. It sounds good. Like it shows a lot about your character, my man, because
and knowing that if there's something we've probably said that you're like, no, I like that personally, so I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah.
You know, so you're mature enough to know the difference between these people are just hating or no, they actually want me to get better.
Right.
How long have you been doing like Christian hip hop?
I started doing Christian hip hop. So
how old are you?
Oh, nice.
I'm 43.
All right.
So I started rapping in 1993.
60s.
Quan got jokes.
Somewhere in 93 is when we started.
Dude, that's when I started too. My first song was in 93. Hocus Pocus was the name of that song.
We started because my dad used to play like a bunch of Christian rap music in the car.
Okay.
And I used to tell him like, yo, these dudes is not really good. You know what I'm saying? I used to say like, yo, well actually it was my brother and I. And so I was like, yo, we can rap better than these people, and like we don't even rap.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? He was like, well, if you can really rap, then do it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we went to the store, bought some maxi singles, you know what I mean, bought a radio with a little fake microphone.
Yeah.
I mean, made an album.
Yeah, you buy the singles, they have the instrumental on the end, and sometimes they have an extra instrumental from another song that you didn't even know was going to be on there. And yeah, man, I did the same thing. So I mean, we're from
tapes.
Yeah, we're from the same era.
Tapes,
we did the same type of thing, man. So that's dope. Just even knowing that struggle, because now you could go on YouTube, and now you got so many beats, you can't even write to anything because you got 100 beats that you're listening to in an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, man, I don't even know what to write to, and it's like, we had to go buy a single and hope that one of those two beats was writable.
Mm-hmm. That's dope, man.
Yep.
So these kids don't know the struggle.
On YouTube now, I always go to.
So
okay, dope.
How you said you do all your mixing, all your mastering, and all that stuff. Do you feel like as an artist coming up, especially for a lot of the younger artists, do you feel like that was a progression, or was it just like hey, I'm doing this all myself, so I have to learn the mixing and the mastering part? Or was it something like, hey, you know what? I think I can make this sound better, so let me try my hand at it.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I went to school for.
Oh.
So I was taught by a teacher, you know what I'm saying, this is what you should do to make it sound better and sound good. And then over time, I just picked up my own tips and tricks. And then, I mean, since like YouTube came out, I'm just always on YouTube trying to learn more and get better at it, find out what the new plugins are, you know what I'm saying, just so I can get better and better.
So is this a full-time thing for you?
No, I wish it was a full-time.
Where'd you go to school for engineering?
I went to school for music industry, and they just happened to have an engineering